Hey, welcome to another episode of the BookPreneur. I'm Audrey Bell Kearney. Listen, have you been thinking about writing your book? Or are you trying to figure out how to grow your book business? I'm so happy to tell you and share what I'm doing to grow my book business. So I've been a published author since 1998, so a very long time. Over the last 2 years, I've been using not Claude, because I started out with ChatGPT, but I've been using AI to help me write fiction books. So up until the last 2 years, I have been writing nonfiction books the old-fashioned way, the way that you normally write. You take something in your head, you go to sit down to your tablet or your computer, and you write it out. That's how I've been writing since 1998. But fast forward to the last few years, I've been leveraging AI to write books, and I'm so excited and happy. And the reason I'm excited and happy is because I get the chance to be really, really, really more creative than I've ever been before because of the tools. And so today I want to talk to you about this. I'm building a book empire, and I want you to be able to do the exact same thing that I'm doing because it is possible. Like if you've never thought it was possible to do that before, it is possible right now. So I'm just going to share with you the 5 ways that I'm leveraging Claude and ChatGPT to help me pull my book business empire together. And maybe you can take some inspiration from what I'm doing to do the same thing for you. So let me just start at the beginning. For those of you who are new to the channel, do me a favor, subscribe and like the channel. I know it's early. You don't know who I am. You don't even know if you want to subscribe yet, but just go ahead and do it anyway because I got a lot of good stuff coming. Like I got some really good stuff coming to talk to you about what I'm doing to build this book empire. So I've been writing since 1998 as an author, published as an author since 98. Last 2 years, I've been writing fiction. Before I was writing nonfiction, I've helped hundreds of authors write their books and publish their books on Amazon. So I'm excited about that. But this year I said I wanted to focus more on what I'm doing. I wanted to focus more on my goals and my dreams and things like that. So I want to show you what I've created so far. Let me pull it up over here. My book empire that I'm building. I'm excited. I don't, I I had this idea, and when I had the idea, let me see there it is. When I had this idea, I was kind of laying in the bed on a Sunday morning, which is when all my great ideas come to me on a Sunday morning, and I'm thinking I want to do some books. I want to do something fun. I want to do something that could build community. I want to build something that's exciting. So I came up with this concept called. Now, I'm not a big reality TV show person. I do watch a few. The Housewives, I don't watch, right? My mom used to love watching the Housewives of Atlanta, the Housewives of Orange County, the Housewives of New York. She used to watch all of them. I didn't like any of them because I just felt like it was too much cat fighting. But I decided that I liked the concept, but I also like the concept of mystery with the two together. So I decided that I was going to write a book series called The Housewives of Gwinnett. I live in Gwinnett County. So I went on this, I just started to think about what it looked like, what the story could be like. And I gotta tell y'all, book number two is gonna be better than book number one because now that I've completed book number one with the help of ChatGPT and Claude, now that I've completed book number one, my mind is just blown about what book number two is. So I'm actually going out and I'm going to scout locations and scenarios to put in book number two. So that's why I say that it allows me to be even more creative than I've ever been in my life because I can go somewhere, I can go to a restaurant and figure out if I want to include this restaurant in the next story, right? So it's allowing me to do those type of things. But so far, this is what I've built so far, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see what I've built so far um, with Claude and ChatGPT, which is really really cool. All right, so here we go. Make sure I got the right one. I got so many tabs open. So this is actually my website that I've built, right? So it's the Housewives of Gwinnett. I have a bookstore. I have my characters. These are my characters. So this right here is Brooke. This is Lulu. This is Charlotte. This is Maylin, and this is Cammy. These are my main characters in my story. They get in all kinds of trouble. The story has so many real life scenarios to it, but it has a lot of fiction too. So they're in politics, they're in law, they're in health and beauty, old money in the city, in the county, all of that good stuff. So I use Lovable to build this entire website. And to me, it is gorgeous. Like it says everything that I needed to say, but I use Lovable. I use ChatGPT to create the book cover. Yes, ChatGPT can do covers like this now. The reason I chose the first book to be called The Message in the Mural is because I live in Lawrenceville, and they're always painting murals somewhere. So I was on I think it was Facebook, and they were looking to bring some artists on to paint a new mural somewhere here in Lawrenceville. And I was like, okay, that's gonna be the title of the first book, The Message in the Mural. And it is a good story. It's a good story. So that's the first book. I got the idea because we're always painting murals somewhere in Lawrenceville. Somewhere you're gonna see a mural somewhere. And I was like, okay, that's the first book. All right, so that's that one. So that's the book cover. So I did the entire book cover with ChatGPT. ChatGPT right now, the artwork is amazing. Like it is, I can't draw a straight line. I can't paint. I can't draw none of those things. But I have the opportunity to think about things. I have the opportunity to say, you know what, I want to do this, this, and this. Let's make it like this, and this. So it's like ChatGPT and Claude have become my co-authors to help me bring all of these great things in my head to life. And it's exciting for me. I know for some people it's like, oh my God, she's not writing. I am thinking of these scenarios. Like I have a scenario in my head that I've been had since 2000, and my mom passed in 21. I think I came up with this idea, and that's for a comic book series in 2022, right? I think it was 2022. When I tell you that the concept is out of this world, it's for a comic book series. And this is pre AI, but I don't know how to draw. Like I don't know how to draw comic books and all that kind of stuff. But now that I understand how to do this, that comic book series is coming to life because I'm in publishing. I've been in publishing a long time. My very first publishing company was called Milestone Publishing. I launched it the year that the terrorists bombed the Trade Center and the Twin Towers. That's the year I actually launched that business. And I remember I had literally just launched the business in June. I had my office space. I would go to my office every day. And the day that I went to work, and my husband said, "Did you see the news?" I had just got into the office. I had a headache that morning for some strange reason. I'm talking about blaring. I had to stop to the Rite Aid. That was a pharmacy in New Jersey. I know y'all thinking Rite Aid. They have them here in Georgia, but not anymore. I stopped to the Rite Aid on my way to work that morning. By the time I got to my office, it was kind of quiet. I'm thinking, we're in a big office building. I'm like, wow, it's really quiet in here. So my husband calls me. He said, "Did you see the news?" And I said, "I didn't see the news." He said, they just bombed the Twin Towers. Now, I'm telling you this. I'm gonna get back to the whole book thing, but I want to tell you the story first of how I launched my Milestone Publishing. So so he told me that I'm in my building was in a building. So I was on the fifth floor. My office was at the end of the hallway, and I was deathly afraid after that. So I locked the door and I ran out the building because if they were knocking down buildings, in my mind, they were gonna knock down ours. So I left the building and I went home. So where I lived was West Orange, New Jersey. Shout out to everybody in Jersey. My husband and I got in the car and we went up to Eagle Rock. So every year at the 4th of July, you could go to Eagle Rock and you can watch the fireworks on the 4th of July, and you can see the Twin Towers, right? So at 4th of July, thousands of people will come up there to Eagle Rock where I live so we can look over the Hudson River and watch the fireworks. With this particular day, it was thousands of us up there that day looking over at nothing but smoke where the Twin Towers had fell. That's what we saw. So I started my first publishing company then. I had been writing since 1998, but I actually literally launched a publishing company that year. And so needless to say, the business tanked because I was afraid to go back in the building. But I have come back to what was my first passion, which is writing books. Now I can write fiction books. Then I was writing nonfiction. I was writing books for other people. So I was doing all the things for other people. Now I'm in a position where I can sit down and come with these wonderful ideas and use these amazing tools. So I use Claude to write the first book I wrote. I used ChatGPT, which does really well on Spotify, by the way. It's so crazy, and I do no marketing for that one. But that started out as a series, and that's called the Starseed Chronicles. I wrote one book in that series, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I didn't take it seriously, but I'm looking like they're actually listening to the audiobook from the Starseed Chronicles. It's called the Lyran Legacies. And I'm thinking I need to go back and finish that series. So I'm going to be working on two series at once. But this series right here, I feel like is most fun. So I had this idea to write this book about Gwinnett. Now, the reason I always use Gwinnett is because I live in Gwinnett County, but there are 1.2 million people who live in Gwinnett County, right? So if 1,000 of them become Raven fans, I'm okay. You understand what I'm saying? I'm pretty okay. That's what 1%, not even 1%, like 10% of 1%. It's some crazy number. But think about that for a second. I can build a backyard brand doing something I absolutely love using tools that are pretty much dirt cheap. Like I pay $20 for Claude, $20 for ChatGPT, $20 for Gemini. I think I pay $17 for Gemini. $17 for Claude. Anyway, it's not a lot of money. I can blow that at dinner on Friday night plus more. So I'm using these tools to help me bring my creativity to life, create community and excitement around something that I love. Now, my ultimate goal is to have a bookstore. That's the ultimate goal, which I have said by next summer, 2027, I will have a bookstore. That has always been a dream of mine to have a bookstore. Big why? Because I love community and people love bookstores. And so I want to have a bookstore in my community. All right. So I use Chat and Claude to do the cover and the interior of the book. Now, this is what I'm really excited about, y'all. This is the part that it blows my mind. All right. So this is the website, and I use Lovable to create the website. So this is what I did. I'm using Lovable to create the website, which to me is absolutely beautiful, right? And I'm not just I use ChatGPT to create the logo. This is the actual logo right here. So that I use that for that. Yeah, beautiful. Now, this is what has got me. I decided that I wanted to have a escape room attached to my books because my books are about mystery, right? So I said, well, people, my daughter loves escape rooms. She loves escape rooms. She always wants to go. And I said, you know what? Well, maybe I can have an escape room for my books, right? Which I thought was fantastic. So I thought about that and I sat there and I said, okay, I'm going to create an escape room. So I came up with this whole concept about an escape room. Now, if you've never gone to an escape room, it's a lot of fun, right? I've been to one in Vegas, I've been to some here in Georgia, I've been to some in Florida. They're a lot of fun. And you have to get in there, you have to solve the crime. I love mysteries. I started watching Murder She Wrote when I was a young girl. I used to watch Perry Mason. Anything that you have to solve a problem, I love. CSI Miami was one of my favorite. Matlock. I'm like, yeah, I was a little old lady back when I was a young lady. I love those type of shows, that Hallmark murders and mysteries. I would sit there all day and watch those. So I love mysteries. So my daughter loves escape rooms. So I was like, well, what if I married my books with an escape room, right? What if I did that? And I thought about that and I'm thinking, that's amazing. That's a great idea. So I built an escape room. So what I did was I bundled the ebook because it's easier and faster for people to get it. And I bundled the escape room together in a bundle for $25. And I'm selling it as a package. And so every month, every Friday of the month, I'm going to run an escape room virtual live, right? So it's going to be a live escape room virtually every Friday for every book. So the first one starts May 8th, which is next Friday. That's the first escape room. So you got to get the book. You can't solve the clues in the escape room if you don't have the book. So you got to get the book, and then you have to read the book so you can answer the escape room questions. Now, the only thing I'm having trouble with is making the escape room look like the regular escape room because it's virtual. Now, I can do it. It's going to cost me a lot more time, probably a lot more money to make it 360 and interactive that way. So I've come up with another creative way for people to really have fun. It's more like an interactive trivia. You still got to read the book to get the clues, but it's a little bit different. So you got to see it. You got to play the game to see what the game is like. I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited. So you got to play it. You got to read the book so you can play the game. And so that's why I'm excited. So let me show you what the page looks like to play live. So you click on play live, and this is what the page looks like. So this is my page for the play live. It's called Friday Night Mysteries. Right now we got 199 hours. The game is going to start. The game starts at 8:15. You can get inside the game at 8 o'clock. So here are the rules of how to play. Right, mysteries here. Enter your name or your team name here. It's going to enter. If you don't have the code, you can't get in. So it doesn't make sense to. You can't get the code unless you buy the book and the package, the bundle. So this is how. So I created this tool right here, this escape room with Claude. Like I did this with Claude. It took me a few days and I'm still tweaking it a little bit. But I'm like, okay. And am I a little bit scared to launch it? Yeah, I'm a little scared. I'm a little bit scared because I'm not a technologist. I'm not a tech person, not a technologist, not a software engineer. I'm a no code engineer. Like I create all these things with no code, but I'm not a software engineer. So am I afraid it's gonna break? I'm a little bit afraid. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm a little bit afraid, but I'm gonna keep it moving. It said it's solid. I said, how many people can I have in my escape room at one time? And it was like unlimited. And he told me why. I'm like, okay, I'm still gonna go back and keep checking because I'm just I'm afraid. However, I'm excited because next Friday at 8 o'clock, we go live with the first escape room for my first book. So I'm super duper excited about that. So this is what the escape room looked like. Now, right here is the leaderboard. I'm excited about that because my you get to be a part of my leaderboard system. So when the first team, a person that solved the mystery, they go on the leaderboard. Listen, when I tell you I'm excited, I'm excited. So this is what Claude and ChatGPT and Gemini and all of these lovable have allowed me to create. Now, why is this important? Because now I'm working on my marketing plan, which is in my mind phenomenal. So between me and Claude working on the marketing plan, it's ingenious. Working on the PR plan, working on and that's just me and Claude. Like I don't have a team of people helping me and making this happen. It's just me and Claude coming up with all of these things that we're doing. That's it. That's what it is. And I'm excited about that because it gives me opportunity to go on there and show people like what I'm doing, how it's working, and I want to share that with you guys. Like, listen, I'm not a gatekeeper. Like you can look at what I'm doing and say, you know what, how can I do this for myself? Because at the end of the day, you got to go get it for yourself. You got to go get it out the mud. You got to be 10 toes down for business. You got to stand on all of these things. I'm happy that I can share my story and hopefully it'll help you think about the things that you could dream about. So let's do a quick recap. Now, let's talk about streams of income real quick. So I got a couple of them, and I still have to add more because I'm going to add a merch line. But this is another thing that I'm excited about, the partnership program. So the partnership program right now, I want partners. Like if you like mysteries and you want to make a few extra dollars, or you're a single mom, you want to make a few extra dollars, my partnership program will allow you to sell that package, my escape room bundle. It'll allow you to sell the escape room bundle and get 30% commission on the sale. Now, 750 may not seem like a lot, but if you can sell 100 of those, that's $750. That may not be a lot to somebody, but for somebody, that's a car note, that's the public service bill, that's the cable bill, maybe a cell phone bill. That's like 2 or 3 bills right there if your bills are like not super high. So think about that for a second. And so you don't have to pay anything to become a partner with us. I see this being a global thing. I have so many plans for this, and it just blows my mind. I have to stop myself. I'm gonna be honest because remember, I work with Claude, I work with Gemini, I work with ChatGPT. They have way more knowledge than me, so they can give me way more ideas than I can come up with on my own. The problem is it's too many, and I want to do them all. So I have to stop myself sometimes and say, look, slow down, pick the top 5 and focus on it. So that's what I'm doing. So this partner program is one way to do that. I'm pitching this to anybody, business owners. If you're not a business owner, you're just a single parent, want to make some extra money, and you want us to build you a page, and you're just going to promote the page. This is our partner program, and this is exciting for us. So that's a stream of income. Selling the books is a stream of income. Selling the books and the escape room together is a stream of income. We're going to have a merch store, so that's going to be a stream of income. There are going to be other opportunities for me to speak. These books are going to change my life and the lives of people around me, because if you need to make extra money and this brand is growing fast, like I believe it's going to grow, it's going to allow you to be a part of something very special. And I'm not saying that just because I started, I'm saying it because I can see what's going to happen. I can see like how big this is going to be, and I'm excited about this. So I just wanted to share. I've been gone for a couple of days because I've been building out the escape room, which is so cute, y'all. You have to get the book so you can see it, so you can get the password and the login. But it is so cute, and I'm like, this is crazy, and I'm smiling because I hope you can feel my energy. I'm smiling because I've done a lot of things in my life. I've been an entrepreneur for 29 years. I've done a lot of things. I think this is probably the one thing I've been the most excited about. Even even when I invented the dolls, I invented the dolls, the first plus size fashion dolls. Y'all can go Google me, Google Audrey Bell Kearney. You'll see like the first plus size fashion dolls. Even when I invented those dolls, I was excited, but I'm nowhere near as excited as I am for what I'm doing right now. Here's why. I needed thousands of dollars when I launched that first company. Thousands. Because I had to take an idea that was in my head. Somebody had to sketch the idea out of my head. Then they had to take the idea and mold it into clay. Then they had to take the clay and turn it into wax. Then they had to take the wax and turn it into metal, and then they had to take the metal and turn it into vinyl. That was a lot of steps, a lot of, and it took a lot of time. But I did it, right? My partner, Georgette, and I, we were business partners. We did it. Here I am, spin the block 29 years later, 27 years later. I'm on this new venture that probably cost me $300, not thousands. And I'm saying 300. It may not have cost that much because I put this whole thing together in the last 2 weeks. So I think I just paid my lovable bill, which is the highest bill that I have is $100 out of the three things. So I'm talking about 20 is 160, and my time, of course. You can do this. You can do, my lovable bill is high. It is high. It's $100 a month. And now to some people that's not high because they have like the Gemini plan, which is like two something or 250 or something crazy. That's high. And if I had the ChatGPT, whatever that other tier is, I think that's like 250, but I don't have that. I have $20 for chat. I think I paid $20 for Gemini, and I think I paid $17 for Claude. But my lovable is $100. So, you know, let's say $300 because I might be missing something. Let's say $300 to launch what's going to be a multi-million-dollar business. Can I do it? I'm going to do it. Y'all follow me. I'm going to do this. This is going to be a 7-figure book, 8-figure, 9-figure book empire, all because I sat down and I didn't let the negativity about the I didn't let the negativity about AI and what it's doing and what it's not. I don't have time for that. Like I have to take the tools and see how to leverage them to make my life better, to make my business better, to build this legacy for my family. I don't have time for all that. I think about someone was saying something the other day about about the AI and the books and all is AI slop, all this kind of crazy stuff, right? So that's now because it's early. Same thing they probably said about the car. Like the car replaced the horse, okay. TV replaced the radio, okay. Radio replaced the newspaper, magazines, all of that stuff, and we still love all those. Would you give up your car to go back to a horse and buggy? That's all I'm saying. Would you? Would you give up TV? Would you? I don't know, but I don't care about any of that stuff. What I care about is building community, having a lot of fun at this stage of my life. I'm 59 years old. I want to have fun. I've been an entrepreneur for 29 years. I want to have fun right now. I want to have fun. I want to have community. I want to be creative. I want to do all the things right now. So that's my focus. And I want to have my bookstore. I'm going to have my bookstore next summer. I want y'all to come out to the grand opening because I'm telling y'all next spring, next summer, I will have that bookstore. And it's going to be fabulous. So anyway, thank you again for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this. Check out the Housewives of Gwinnett.com. Get your book. Get your access to the escape room. Join me next Friday virtually, no matter where you are in the world. Next Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going live for the first ever escape room for the Housewives. I keep saying the Gwinnett Housewives. The Housewives of Gwinnett. It is a book series. It is a short read. It's 149 pages, so you don't have to read a lot. You can read the book this weekend. Get ready for the escape room next weekend and keep it. We're gonna do 4. So we're gonna do 4 a month, 4 mysteries a month. But your one membership, your one book, your $125 gets you access to all 4 of those. So you don't have to like spend 25. You pay 125. It's going to get you access to all 4 of the escape rooms. So I'm excited. I'm super, super, super excited. Listen, if you like what I'm saying, if you got a dream to build your own book business, your own book empire, do me a favor. Subscribe to the show, like the show, and share the show. This is going to help the algorithms help me reach more self-published authors or people who want to be self-published, people who want to use this to start a book business, and be able to live out something that they love doing. do that for me so we can do that for them. All right. I'll be back again next time. You guys stay safe out there. And until next time, my friends, until next time, make it a great day. Bye, everybody.